Yes, let's move on to an equally difficult topic. Feral horses in the Kosciuszko National Park. After a bill passed by the coalition government a couple of years ago, horses appeared to be protected under wild horse heritage over some native species, people would argue, or activists have argued to me in any event. Penny, could you tell us how would a Labor government go about drastically reducing the number of wild horses in Kosciuszko National Park, which according to a recent count have jumped to about 18,000?
Yes, I saw your op-ed on it, Nick. It was very good. I just want to say this. Look, Labor opposed the wild horse heritage bill at the time, and we continue to oppose it. It does absolutely nothing except accelerate the destruction of the unique, fragile Kosciuszko National Park. This was done simply as a deal with the National Party, and I know that there are members of the Liberal Party who did not support it, but who were forced to do so. The real issue, though, now is that there's a horse management plan that's got a commitment to actually getting the horses down to 3,000. Labor's priority will be do that as quickly as possible and to make sure that we have the resources to ensure that it can be done. It needs to be done humanely, but we are failing. If there's another 4,000 horses in the park, the water and all of the other threatened species are going to be dead before we can ever get that plan finished. Would
Labor authorise aerial shooting?
At this point, that's not part of what we would want to do. As I said, if we're elected, we've got the horse management plan, we've got to get it down as quickly as possible. We want to put more resources into it, but the key thing is getting the horses out of the park as quickly as possible.
Sue, could you tell us how Greens would use their voice to help remove those horses and what policies they'd support to do so?
Absolutely. Our job is to go further and faster, like I said at the outset. And right now we know that the plan is not a plan to protect Kosciuszko National Park. The plan that we've got right now was a compromise plan put on the table, and the management plan is not going to protect Kosciuszko. We actually are currently supportive of what the RSPCA and the best practice recommendation is to eradicate the feral horses as quickly and humanely as we can. And yes, that does include aerial shooting, because if we're looking at what the best advice we've been given is, that's what it reads as. So whatever placating and toning down we want to do, it's not going to help us. And can I just say on that point, I'm actually a horse chick. I've got some Brumbies at home. I took them out of the Guy Fawkes wilderness myself. I've been working on this. I've been watching this issue. I absolutely love horses, but they just don't belong. We have some hard choices to make.
Thanks, Sir. James.
Yeah, thank you. Well, look, we've been crystal clear about this. We have a plan, and that plan with respect to Sue has had input from diverse voices, experts and scientists and professionals in the field of dealing with invasive species. The plan is clear. It says get those feral horses down to 3,000 in Kosciuszko National Park. And that is what we are committed to absolutely doing. The second point I'll make is that this is a very divisive issue. And I will back every single day of the week the work that our National Parks Agency do and the staff and the work that they do down there on the ground. And they do not deserve to put up with what they've had to put up with in trying to deliver and implement this plan.
I think everyone would agree with that.
Yeah, and I make that point because we have been trying to implement the plan as quickly and as rapidly as possible. And there have been challenges to do with safety that have made that quite complicated, but we are absolutely committed to forging ahead and getting that number down to 3,000. I want to thank the many people in this room who have backed that in and have supported the works of Parks to get on the way with that plan.
Can I push you a little bit on this, though? That if you gave that plan another year or two and the numbers were still rapidly increasing as they have historically, would you consider aerial culling?
Well, we'd have to go back to working with and engaging with the experts that have provided input into the plan, the likes of the RSPCA, the Invasive Species Council and others, to really look at how all methods, whether it's passive trapping, rehoming and lethal methods. So, you know, I think we'll take stock. We publish, we are transparent with the plan. The numbers are published every 6 months. We'll continue to do that so that everybody has visibility of where it's going and how it's tracking.
I'll get you. Yep, sure.
You know, the background paper though, actually has already said this. It's already put it on the table. The paper says that aerial is one of the desired preferred ways, but it's too controversial to do that right now. It's not palatable. So your job was meant to be to go out and tell people why this was the best option and why we were going to do it. This idea of our poor environment having to compromise along the way, so much so that we may actually lose part of that unbelievable environment that we know as Kosciuszko because we are compromising, is just not fair anymore.
I'd like
We've got
to
to be honest.
I'd like to give James a quick moment to respond to that.
Yeah, so I reject that view. I mean, I think that we have the plan. It has been considered and reviewed by the likes of the RSPCA, local community and other stakeholders, and had expert input. We are working that through. We are phasing it in as quickly as possible. And to the point earlier, it's all well and good to make that comment that aerial shooting is the way to go. We are undertaking the biggest amount of feral animal control, which includes aerial shooting across our parks estate ever.
Okay, I think you've made the points that you will there.